Praise and Production.
Gumbolaya podcast, C.A. Purcell, continuing with PHILLIP Charles. PHILLIP Charles, our beloved friend, beloved guitar player at Covenant, where I go to church, our beloved family member, family away from home family, our part of our LA family. PHILLIP Charles.
PHILLIP Charles.
PHILLIP Charles.
You need the...
rousing applause, the rousing applause. Y'all holler and scream for PHILLIP Charles.
I think those are great.
I think those are great. So we talked about a bunch of stuff. Born and raised in Compton. So for people that are not from here, right? Is there a movie that you feel like reflects what home was like for you? Because, if you're not from LA, some people had Boys in the Hood. Some people had Menace to Society. Some people had Clueless, right? I don't know the other examples, right? But that's an LA movie.
Stark differences.
Very big difference, right? What Alicia wasn't going down to where Cube and them was. If she did it on the slide, so her dad wouldn't find out. Can you think of any pop culture reference to home life for you from the Beninging?
It's almost like my particular street where I grew up. You had a main drive called 123rd. It ran from Compton Avenue to Wilmington, right?
Okay.
Compton Avenue to Wilmington. So as soon as you got close to where I live, you would make this left on what they call Defiance onto 122nd.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine coming from both sides and doing this. My street was isolated.
Okay.
So a lot of the crazy stuff that was going on, we were told it was like,
oh, praise the Lord.
It was like a Shangri-La of sorts.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. On my block, there was a running back by the name of Darren Nelson.
Okay.
That his family, they were a great family, went to a lot of football games, USC football games and whatnot with him. So, but he was a very, very good family on that block. And you never would have known that he came off of that block.
Okay.
But we had no real problems with the gang. We tried to import some stuff in because, some of the guys were going to high school and rub it up against the gangsters. And so they got kind of puffed up and coming on the block, but we weren't authentically like that.
Okay.
Because we had, actually pretty good families.
Yeah, some shielding.
Oh, awesome.
Mother and fathers and both in the home and that sort of thing. Families had jobs. There was really nothing really that bad until you went outside of that block.
Well, because that was going to be my next question. So if you grew up in this, this special pocket where, things felt, I'll just say different.
Yes.
What was your impression of the areas near you where you didn't live? How did you were you exposed to the stereotypes about South LA? Or did you not know this until you started seeing it on TV and stuff? Because you can't be anywhere near, a major cultural pocket without knowing it. So what was your, exposure into the stereotypical LA life?
Only, like I said, the people that tried to import it into our street. There were a couple guys that were, lifting weights like they were doing back at the time.
Yeah.
The Tookie Williams and stuff. They were all about lifting weights and whatnot.
Yeah.
Had it not been for a few guys that were in the neighborhood, I never would have heard anything about it.
Yeah.
I did experience, some of the drug culture. My brother was in high school.
Yeah.
And he was exposed to, part of the drug culture, and he'd bring that home.
Yeah.
And he started writing stuff on this little speaker thing we had. It was like an old drawer that he converted into a speaker. I think that's what it looked like. And he would write stuff about barbiturates, red devils, and stuff like that. And I go to school and lie and say, "Yeah, I'm taking them too," because and I'm lying. Hadn't done none of that. But I'm taking them too.
Yeah.
but only in influences like that. But
Yeah.
it never really touched our street. You know,
Yeah.
Praise God.
that sort of thing.
Yeah,
So,
that's what they call the hedge of protection.
it
Yeah.
was weird,
Yeah.
and it was really weird when I look at our street. It was,
And it's something you couldn't ask for. Like you
Right.
grew up
Exactly.
in,
grew up
in some
it was,
grace.
It was
Yeah.
providence,
exactly.
Yeah.
basically.
Exactly.
You know that. You know,
So when did you start writing music? So you're at home, you're in junior high, you get the guitar. Like, had you ever dabbled with writing before?
what I did was the only thing I really remember was that song by War called "The World Is a Ghetto."
Oh, vaguely.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Don't you know
Okay.
that is true? That for me,
Oh, yeah.
and for you, the world is a ghetto.
Yeah.
That song, I did because I played trumpet back then too.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I played trumpet.
I started on trumpet.
I wrote, and I think we talked about this before. You forgot.
There goes my memory.
So I did a 3-part harmony thing, and it was not really understanding anything about harmony. I wrote da 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 da. I had like 4 trumpet players. One went da 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 da, and the other trumpet da da. So I was constructing chords without knowing that I was
Yeah.
That was my first real dabble with.
When was this?
Stuff.
Like when? So in
this was
what sequence?
7th grade.
Okay.
7th grade. Yeah.
And that you said that for you was junior high, right?
Yeah, that's junior high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 7th grade, you start messing around with chords and whatnot. What was the first song you wrote though? The face.
The first.
That's some serious thinking when you got to lean back and breathe.
Yeah. I'm trying because I don't think I really wrote anything until I had gotten saved.
Okay.
Which was May 4th, 1979.
What brought your attention to God in that way?
To write?
No, I just mean in general. Like what would you, is there anyone or anything in particular that you feel like flip the light switch where you could, see the idea of God in a way that's like, there's nothing more important than this.
Question,
yeah.
Dave.
Well,
That's a great
it
question.
was, I think it was the prayer of my now wife who prayed for me because she was going to SC. And they had this thing called Campus Crusade for Christ Ministries.
Okay.
And she would meet with them regularly, and they were praying for me.
Was something goings on praying for you, or they were just?
Yeah, I mean, I had some issues.
Oh, you want to talk about it? Curious.
Not
curious.
I just give you a glimpse of it. It had something to do with this green substance.
Hey.
And
hold up.
Yeah, hold up.
Yeah.
I
got you.
Give you
wait. I want to understand. And of course, you can pump the brakes if I cross a line. However, you were smoking that much green where people was praying for it. Like, what were you doing?
I mean,
were you like showing up passed out on the doorstep or something?
Well, I mean, it was just, I think at that time, and I'm speaking specifically to high school. That's kind of what the hood did,
Mm-hmm.
No, I understand that, but I mean, why was there concern?
Why were they praying for
me?
I mean, well,
was it just he smoked weed and we don't think he should be smoking weed?
It was,
or
I think it was more like, I found the Lord, and I want you to find the Lord too, because I see the value in a relationship with God.
Okay. Well, because you mentioned green like it was ruining your life on earth, and like, was it more so just we need to bring him on in because he's got the goods?
I mean, there was a part of the cult. I wasn't doing anything, you'd say bad,
yeah.
But I was a chimney. I was definitely a chimney.
Well,
it took me a second to get.
Can I ask? So, because we were going to talk about how you met your beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And so I'd like you to talk about that.
Sure.
But it just sounds like she cared about you so much.
Yeah, she cared.
Were y'all already dating at this point?
Yeah, we were dating.
Okay. So you met,
met
were
her.
dating.
Oh.
You puffing it up, and she's concerned.
Well, let's go back.
Let's go back.
Here's the fun part.
Yeah.
There used to be this club in Hollywood called the
Madam Chong's. Oh, what was it?
No, listen. It was the SOL apostrophe D.
Sold.
Oh.
Out
Okay.
club. That's what it
Sold
was.
out. Okay.
Sold out.
Why the apostrophe?
Oh,
Wait,
right.
SOUL?
Yeah, SOUL.
Oh, SOUL. Sold
I get
out.
it.
Yeah,
I
the
get it.
sold
That's a
out.
clever name.
Sold
I
out.
like it.
It's like
Yeah,
sold.
Right.
Sold out.
Sold out.
There it
Was
is.
it so? It was a Christian?
No.
Oh no, not a Christian.
No. It was
I
a
thought
club.
maybe they were saying
And it
clean
was a
fun.
harbinger for pimps.
Oh, it was
Hey,
really not what I
uh-oh.
was talking about.
With the hat, the feather in it.
And it was that time, late 70s.
Yes. All right.
So much so that I think the day that I met Shelly, there was a gal named Lynn Davis that sang in our band.
Okay.
She went on to sing with George Duke, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Very good singer.
Cool.
Introduced me to Shelly.
Okay.
That very same night, that club had gotten raided by LAPD.
Oh, snap.
Oh, wait.
So
Okay,
you guys
wait.
were at the club.
We're at the club.
She was there too?
She was there too.
So y'all are at the club, at the sold out club.
Yeah, we had to sold out
Right?
club. And I'm
You're
performing there.
Right.
I'm
Yeah, you're
Performing. Okay. And
Yeah.
so you're around all the dudes going with the shit. Right? All of that.
Yeah.
Saying all the rhymes and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you're performing. She's, I'm assuming, hanging out, listening
Yeah,
to the
she's
music,
hanging out,
everything.
right.
And y'all got introduced that evening. And then y'all left and it got raided? Or was
Yeah,
y'all
I
caught
think
up in...
We walked out, Shelly and I. We were still there,
Okay.
to perform. And there was this long line of plain clothes dudes,
Yeah.
And they're just walking in. I said, what
So you walked right by the...
Wow. So
by
they
him.
just missed the raid.
Wow.
Yeah, we walked right by them. In fact, they were going in the door and we came out of the door.
Literally. That's
Literally.
TV show
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, literally.
Quite a way to meet.
Yeah.
So
Holy mackerel.
anyway, long story short, somehow we weren't able to get to all of our clothing to perform.
Yeah.
So I had partial clothes because we all had silver suits and all this sort of thing.
Silver suits.
Yeah, some kind of silver suit
Boom,
thing.
boom, boom,
So I had on these
boom, boom.
brown pants and I pulled them up and we still performed, but basically they
In the silver suits.
came and arrested, kind of the owners. They were running, yo.
Oh,
Wow.
pimpage and snortage.
Yeah,
And
man.
you just missed it.
Yeah, and we weren't in it, when the bus, we were outside, so we weren't
Wow.
subject to any, and
Yeah.
they didn't stop us as we came out. So.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
as far as I understand, there's different kinds of like raids where like law enforcement is usually after one or the other. They're usually after ownership and the activity, or they're after the customers to make it harder for people to continue whatever it is they're doing. So this one, even if you would have been there, they weren't going for the
me.
occupants.
Well, they might have detained me a bit because I was inside because they had to control the environment.
Yeah.
But since I was already kind of on the outside,
Oh, Lord.
rounding the corner as they were coming in like this.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was.
Wow. And right after that was rage.
It was.
I know, right?
Yeah. It
Wow.
was.
I mean,
it was pretty tough.
did your wife see it, or your then almost girlfriend? Did she see that about to go down, or did y'all know?
I don't think we really know. In fact, after that, as I'm remembering it, I don't remember exactly what we did after that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what we did.
You might not want to say that. He meant that he exactly remembers what happened, Shelly. Like he remembers everything because it was an important moment.
But anyway, that's kind of a blur. That was something crazy.
So you were introduced to a friend.
I was introduced to Shelly through Lynn Davis.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? We dated. When she was going to SC, I would pick her up, take her to movies and stuff like that. I'd pick her up after she got out of school.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. And we went to movies.
How did you feel differently about her than, because I'm assuming you had girlfriends prior. Like what made you feel like this is the one that I want to focus on?
It wasn't a really kind of a hot pursuit thing as much as it was, because I think I've only had one other girlfriend prior to that point. Yeah, I didn't have a whole...
Did you date though? Let you do one-offs and go out with somebody, or was...
Not on a wholesale level, not a whole lot.
I just meant at all.
I'm sorry.
I just meant at all. Like, did you date it? Because I've been surprised by several people that have said that they didn't date much. Like they went out with friends and whatnot, but they don't have much of a dating history. And for me, that's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Because, my social life is kind of my default, so to speak. So I spent a lot of time with a lot of friends, and I mean, I didn't go crazy dating, but I was interested in different people along the years or whatever. But you didn't date a lot?
I didn't date a lot. I had little girlfriends, little lightweight infatuations. Probably, very lightweight.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing, infatuations kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
well, still, what was it? What was it about her? Like, what registered with you as being this is A1 or the one?
Here's the gift about that. I never knew what I was doing. Okay. And that really helped me out because,
how so?
And it was providential in so much as I got 100,000% more woman that I even knew to look for.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
So when did that come into your focus? Because if you're unaware at the beginning, there has to be a moment where someone tells you or life shows you that you have a chunk of gold, not just a yellow rock.
I think I didn't really understand that until after I was married.
Okay.
I really didn't.
So wait, this is interesting to me. Why get married then? Like if you didn't feel the special pull in terms of this is a special woman, what was it that made you feel like I need to do this?
I didn't have a whole lot of frame of reference. I think there was a moment that we had and I was getting ready to lose her, right? And I didn't even know why. It just leapt up out of my mouth. Will you marry me? Interesting. Yeah, probably.
So considering that moment, what was it that you felt, in the moment? Because to me, it sounds like you're saying, your path was moving forward in this way and you didn't realize the significance of it until you had made several important decisions and you were down the line. Right. So I'm kind of curious, why would that be your response to that moment if it felt like what I'm kind of getting is somewhat, I don't know, indifference isn't what I'm getting. You didn't know how strongly you felt, but you felt something.
Yeah, no, I definitely felt something.
Well, what was your feeling?
I felt it.
People need to know, man.
It felt good. But in terms of processing exactly what I was feeling at the time, it wasn't a very boom kind of thing. It was kind of a thing that...
A slow build. It was growth.
Yeah, it was like a slow build. Yeah. And then I really didn't understand until after we were married. And I went, wow, man. Yeah. I scored. In fact, I got over. I think you jacked up.
Yeah. Well,
I got over.
The reason I was thank you for letting me kind of pick at it because
all right.
I ask you that because most of the conversations I have with people about a lot of them are people asking me how to recognize the special someones as opposed to people you should, either just be acquaintances with or when to move on. And, usually that is a very obvious feeling if you take time to consider how you're feeling around a person, right? But when it comes to whether or not you're going to be friends with someone, or if you feel like this person is special and should be pursued to grow in that area, I find people aren't sure about what that seems like. So I ask you because, what's up?
Now, here's the thing, because you mentioned friends.
Yeah.
I think we were really good friends.
Yeah.
That's usually the key.
Yeah.
That's usually a key.
We were really good friends.
Yeah.
And we just clicked as friends.
That's why I ask,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
so, I've done a lot of episodes talking about the fact that if your relationship feels positive and you feel like this is something that is adding and making your life better, at least, I don't know if I've done all episodes, but I talk about it. And it's hard for me to remember what I say to people and what I've said on, I don't know, but I've talked about it. How to distinguish the difference between a friend and a special friend. And for people that are looking for the special someone, it's hard to explain to them. You just know. It's hard to say what it is that feels different, because I have a lot of different friends that have the different qualities that Kel has. But for me, when I found someone that had so many of them at the same time, it was just all I could think of right when I met her. And every time I talked, those moments of talking to, like, for me, it was a boom. That's me. But it's because I dated a lot. For me, I had a lot of girlfriends. I don't know if a lot. I had girlfriends. And for me, whenever I was, boyfriend, girlfriend with somebody, it was serious for me.
Okay.
Like I was never dating anybody with the understanding, like, I'm just dating. It was never like that for me. I tried with every single one, be like, yo, it can be you and me if you want. If you want, it could be you and me. And so I asked you that question because in conversations with people about how to feel that out, I've had conversations about everything from whether or not I should be with this person at all to whether or not this is the special person, because a friend has a lot of the good things.
Yeah. Well,
But,
if I can add,
yeah.
I mean, I've said this in another episode.
Yeah.
I always encourage a true relationship with God and prayer, because, I think as human beings, we can make a lot of choices, right? Some good, some bad. And I'll speak for myself. Like, I'm incredibly grateful to be married to you. And at first it was infatuation. I thought you were cute and funny. And then we were great friends.
Yeah.
You were such a good friend.
Yeah.
And I felt like a super closeness to you. And we could talk about how we got engaged because, I asked him. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
I don't know if y'all noticed, she proposed to me.
I did. I did propose to her.
I ain't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She proposed to me.
I did.
See, you know what I was planning to do.
Right.
I had the plans.
And I had an inkling that he was
I was totally going to do it.
But I
she
was
is
ready.
Miss Preemptive.
I was ready.
She couldn't wait.
I'm
You
a
know
planner.
why? You know why she proposed?
Wait. That's a whole other podcast.
Y'all tripping.
So I won't go there. But anyway, so with the eyes, my point is, you get married or you feel like someone is the one, or it just comes out of your mouth or whatever. Yeah. Maybe you're young, you're not quite sure, but you do feel something special, like you're saying. Yeah. But I will say that in addition to that, I feel what you feel.
Very much so, yeah.
Where later on you realize, whoa, this person really was for me. And I didn't even realize till that tall extent back then.
Yeah.
And that's God.
That's true too. What I thought you were about to say, which is also true, when you meet and fall in love with a person, you see a lot of the things that feel good, which is great, right? The challenge in relationship comes when you learn the stuff that you might not have chosen, but you don't yet know are important.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
That's tough.
That's
right?
a good point.
And the reason I say that is to encourage people to trust God in how you feel with a person. Here's the difference. This is a good one. Y'all please weigh in. Any good person in your life, good meaning someone that is healthy for you in your life. You will not always agree, and that's fine. You will not always see things the same way, that's fine. But you're looking for love. You're looking for a feeling of love. You're looking for kindness. You're looking for consideration. You're looking for nurturing. You're looking for people that will teach you things. Like when you find something in life that you don't know or don't do well, you're looking for people that will teach you, well, this is something you can try, or this is how I would do that. What you don't want is shame and ridicule and disrespect, and right? So that's how you choose your friends. Simple. Are these people helping me in life, at least at a basic level? Maybe everybody ain't showing up to help you redecorate, but are they helping you in general in life? Are they encouraging you to be kind? Are they encouraging you to tip fairly at a restaurant? Are they encouraging you not to cuss out the waiter because they mess up your fries or something? Are they encouraging you to be a better person? Are they helping you be a better person? Are they showing you how to be a better person with their life, right? That's friends. When you get married to someone who is invested in your marriage, they are also invested in you. And they will challenge you even when you don't want to. Yeah. So what I thought you were about to say is, after you get married to someone who's awesome, right? You see how they are awesome in ways you didn't see before because you was focused on whatever your emotional needs are. But you start to see how they are challenging you to kind of grow beyond what is normal for you. They introduce parts of life that you just didn't have at home. Is very different. And most of it will be positive and awesome, hopefully, as long as y'all know how to act, I thought you was going.
Some of it is hard. Like iron sharpens iron.
Very much so.
And the your marriage is solid, and you guys I know have a solid marriage for a long time.
Yeah.
If it's growing and maturing in that way, and you are becoming better, in ways sometimes that are hard for you.
Very hard.
And you didn't know. We didn't know all that.
Yeah.
Back then.
The quote it really stuck. I mean, I remember a lot of them, but one of the recent quotes I saw about maybe 5 months ago or so was a lady talking about how to have, higher level relationships, like true heart to heart, sustainable friendships and relationships. And she specifically talked about marriage. And she said the hardest part about marriage is that if you're not told this concept, it will seem like a negative. And she said the concept is, over the course of life with a person, you are learning and getting to know the different versions of them as they do. So you meet a person, they are who they are. They're from where they're from. They do what they do. But over the course of their life, they're learning and growing. They're being affected by their path. They're being affected by the people that they're around. They're being affected by experiences. And then when y'all start living life together at any level, they're affected by you. So when you're at home, when it's an intimate relationship, you're also affecting each other at a fundamental home level, right? So all of their wonderful things are affecting you, and all of their not so wonderful things are affecting you as well. And you got to learn, if you're going to help somebody in life, you got to help them with their mess too. It's not always just sunshine and rainbows and flowers, even though I do be giving you flowers.
You do.
That's one of my easy go-tos. Y'all ever seen the movies where the ladies talk about getting flowers just because? I noticed that. I be doing flowers just because. I mess up a lot of stuff. But I do be doing the flowers just because. And I think about when she's going to have time during the week where she's working at home, where she's going to be able to see them and enjoy them. Because Kelly be on the road. It don't make sense to get her flowers and then she gone, they're just dying. So I get them. I'm like, okay, I know her week. Get her flowers.
He's pretty great.
That's great.
I'm doing my best.
Thank you for blessing us, Phil. He gave the green light.
Yeah, you totally could have been like, nah, bro.
I know, and here we are.
Yeah.
So.
Nah. Well, like I said, it's a good thing that I didn't have a history of being burned in that situation.
Yeah. It wasn't, for me, it wasn't burned. It was more so I remember the headache of having to deal with something I didn't volunteer for. So remember, I was young. When I started in ministry, I was a teenager. And having to talk to adults about their dating issues. I'm like, we got songs to go over.
Yeah.
What is this?
That's a lot.
Why are we talking about what happened at the stove?
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of what you kind of felt from me when I first got there was me trying to help you avoid pitfalls, avoid potholes. Because I'm like, Phil, maybe we could do it like this and it'll work better in this way or whatever. And so little by little, he was always just like, yo, you should be doing this. And I'm like, oh, we can talk to the people or whatever. And eventually we shifted where I was his assistant and then he became my assistant. And we still kind of do the same thing. I just remember hers was the only difference really. So we're going to cut for a second. If you need pee break, you need pee break?
Probably.
Pee break. We're going to cut for a sec, and then we will specifically talk about the song.
I was going to say, can we talk about music?
We've been talking about music. We've been talking about stuff.
I mean, I like it all.
And things.
And
All right. Gumbolaya Podcast here with Phillip Charles. What's your middle name? Phillip
Mandel.
I did not know that.
Eee.
That is like royalty.
Phillip Mandel.
Like that.
I didn't know you wasn't potent.
Yeah, see, I've told you, all you just forgot.
I'm
Probably.
sure you have. I'm sure you
Phillip Mandel Charles. Man, that's a strong name.
It is.
I feel like you need a town for that. Phillip Mandel Charles. I feel like that's the name of a school or something. Phillip Mandel Charles, author of the new book, How to Overcome Issues with the Diaspora. Anyways, we'll be back. Love y'all so much. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, all those things. Gumbolaya Podcast. Love y'all. See you. Peace out.
King of kings, Lord of lords, Holy One, Prince of Peace. King of kings, Lord of lords, Holy One, Prince of Peace. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Praise and production.